Hello and welcome to Wetherby, a lovely historic market town in West Yorkshire. So behind me is the town hall. We're going to explore that in a moment, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about the town and the motto of the town first. The motto is Imperium in Imperio, which obviously you know your Latin really well. It means one government within another. Wetherby has a population of 10,700 people, and we're going to see some of them walking around the town today because there's lots of shops open. I'm going to have a look at the town hall. We're going to look at the bridge, the river, and a few other bits and pieces around the town. So let's go and have a look now. Wetherby Town Hall's a very imposing and striking, impressive design here in the middle of the marketplace. Let's have a closer look round at the building. There's a blue plaque on the wall. We love a blue plaque. Let's have a look. Wetherby Town Hall was built in 1845 on the site of the old chapel of Ease. The ground floor was the church school until 1895 for 50 years. Upstairs was the magistrates' court until as late as 1962. The hall is now vested in the town council and managed as a charitable trust for the local community. And next to that is a sign that says Privas, 1,282 kilometres away in France. Privas is the twin town of Wetherby in the Ardèche region of France. Bonjour, bonjour. There's a few more plaques and commemorative items on the side of the town hall. Here's one, the second one down, that's the grant of the market and fair at Werribee by Henry III to the Templars, 15th of November 1240. So that's the 13th century. I'll tell you a little bit more about why it says Werribee rather than Wetherby in a moment. So that sign there said Werribee for 1240, and here's another plaque that says the story of Wetherby, and then it says Wetherby. So it sounds like over the years they've not been able to come to terms with what the town's actually called. So there's cultures going back to the Neolithic age, the Bronze Age, the early Iron Age, Saxons and the Vikings as well. There's all this kind of stuff that was going on in this area that they've found evidence for. But the name Wetherby comes down from wether, meaning castrated male sheep, and by, is a farmstead or a village. So the town at one point was called Wetherby or Wetherby, and then it's also been known Werribee, and now it's called Wetherby. There you go. Let's hope this name sticks because it's a bit confusing for everyone else. Inside the town hall, you've got this the town crest here, Wetherby Town Hall, Imperium in Imperio, which we just spoke about. There's the list of all the different councillors for the area. It's definitely a good building, this. You can see the history of the town. You can feel the grandeur of the place. There's even a art exhibition upstairs at the moment. The elegant town hall is in very much a prominent place here in the marketplace. So we're going to have a walk round some of the side streets now and look at some of the shops here in Wetherby. Wetherby is quite an affluent area in this area on the outskirts of Leeds. So looking around some of the shops, there's quite a lot of independent shops. I'm not expecting to see too many Greggs or McDonald's or vape shops or whatever. So let's go and have a look round now. What do you call a fat pumpkin? A plumpkin. So there's plenty of people around here in Wetherby this autumnal Saturday afternoon as we come off the marketplace. Sant'Angelo's didn't always used to be an Italian restaurant. It used to be called the Angel Pub. And it's got a bit of a history because during the war there used to be nearby prisoner war camps here in Britain, and here they had German and Italian prisoners held in these camps. Now, this is the only pub, the Angel pub, that used to serve them in the town, because people used to come and bring the prisoners here for a drink, apparently. And that's quite controversial at the time. A lot of the locals didn't like the fact that they were looking after these people from Italy and from Germany. So the Angel pub was quite controversial in the way they treated people here in a humane, kind, thoughtful way. There's also a blue plaque on the sign of the Angel Inn. It says the Angel became an important coaching inn between 1760 and 1840, with stabling for over 100 horses. It had its own smithy and shoeing shop to deal with the 40 pairs of horses kept here for posting purposes. In 1837 it serviced 2 mail coaches daily between London and Glasgow and between Hull and Manchester. So there's a lot of history and heritage about this place. Wetherby's definitely a busy little place. There's lots going on. There's lots of traffic coming through. It's very much just off the A1, so there's lots of busy traffic coming through, cutting through. People going off to Leeds and also off to Harrogate that way as well. It's busy. There's lots happening. Let's explore a bit further. Here we've got the War Memorial Garden. It's a tribute here to the young people of Wetherby who will never grow old. These gardens are kept and maintained well throughout the year. Even prize winning in certain parts as well. Talking of prize winning, this here won the Gold Award, the European competition for towns and villages in bloom, 1999, 25 years ago. And also the National Award in the International Challenge, the small category, Wetherby Communities in Bloom, 2005. These little garden areas and memorial gardens, they certainly brighten up a town and they make it a lot nicer than just buildings everywhere. That's good. Anybody who knows anything about archways will know what this is. Obviously that's a very, very small cohort of people, so let's tell you all about it now. It's a Huguenot arch. I'll tell you off the blue plaque rather than pretending I know all about it. This arch was originally over a passageway between 2 houses at West End, now Westgate, near the present library. Local tradition says that they were probably built by descendants of Huguenot Protestant refugees from France. There, that's what they've done. The French inscription stone reads, "Love your neighbour as yourself," said the evangelist, and was laid on 19th of January 1827. So nearly 200 years old. That's what it says up there, but in French. It's not all just independence in the Wetherby area. The Horse Fair Centre here has got a few chain places. They've got Card Factory, Superdrug, got Boots here. Charles Clinkard, he's got some branches elsewhere as well. There's a heck of a lot of blue plaques in Wetherby. There's 21, which is a large number for such a small town. There's another one here behind me. It's about... Well, let's tell you what it's about now. Let's flip the camera around. That way around. This is about Wetherby Manor. From 1602 until 1824, when they sold the town, the Cavendish family, later the Dukes of Devonshire, as lords of the manor, had a court leet which settled local affairs. And they appointed the constables, the market inspectors, a bellman, and a pinder responsible for stray animals. The old courthouse was situated in these gardens. I can't see the gardens, I can just see some bushes up here. But word on the street is Wetherby Manor is somewhere near here. This is the Mango restaurant. If man go restaurant, does woman go restaurant too? I hope so. That'd be nice. They can have a nice time together then. There's some delightful cottages and mews along here on the way down to St James's Church, which we're coming up to next. This here is St James's Parish Church. Look how striking and imposing it is on the skyline here. It's a dramatic and inspiring building. I'm loving the round window there above the side door. I'll try and get a picture around the side. It's good. As with a lot of churches in this country, the current state of the building isn't the same as when they were originally built. They are quite often chapels or wooden structures in many centuries ago, and they kind of developed over the years into what you see now in towns and villages and all different areas around the country. But what is common amongst all of them is how stylish the buildings were. There's care taken with building them. They have made such an effort to make sure that it's a worthy building. I do like the look of all these side streets. You've got Church Street here, you've got Bank Street, all the way through to Westgate down there. We've got here the Wesleyan Chapel from 1829, which is the modern day Methodist church here in Wetherby. And next door, you've got a ghost sign on the side of the wall. It looks like it used to be a magnet ale or something on the side of there. It's no longer in place, but it was once. Behind me, in a distance, is another church. It's St Joseph's Catholic Church. And look how striking and imposing the structure of the church is. We'll have a close look now. I'm liking the style and design of this building. It's on the corner of the bend here, but they are making the use of it. It's St Joseph's Catholic Church. The windows to the left, you've got the two tall windows with all the decorative arrows pointing upwards, and you've got the three little windows at the top representing the Holy Trinity. You've got such a large window at the top area, at the top there, just below the metal cross at the top of the building. And it looks like there's a massive designed stained glass image inside the building on the other side of the exterior glass. It's stylish. One thing that's a real joy to me when I travel anywhere is when I see old cinemas, like this one here, Wetherby Cinema. It's dating back to 1915, so over 100 years old. So while the cinema now is called Wetherby Cinema, it's not always been called that. It started off as the Weir Cinema, and then it's gone on to be different things since then. So behind me is a blue plaque that tells me the history of Wetherby Cinema. Love a blue plaque. The Wetherby Cinema opened in April 1915 as the Weir Picture House to entertain the troops billeted in the town and named after the town's perpetual curate. In 1945, it was purchased by the Star Cinema Group and changed its name to the Rodney, after the son of one of the owners. Imagine a cinema called Rodney. Imagine that. So after the son of one of the owners, it continued to show films until 1964, when it was sold and became a bingo club. It reopened as a cinema back in 1993, when it changed from film projection to digital projection in November 2012. That's the Wetherby Cinema here on Caxton Street. Weir Picture House, Rodney, Bingo Club, and then Wetherby Cinema. I think it should stay as Rodney. Called in for a drink at the cinema, and it's really nice in here. They serve cakes and everything, and drinks, and if you order a drink, they'll even bring it out to your seat throughout the performance. So it's I like that. It's a good sense of customer care and consideration for customers. I like that. That's good. I still think they should have kept the name as Rodney, though. Rodders! As I've been walking through Wetherby, it's been clear to me that it's an affluent area, and there's not a lot of empty shops. There's not a lot of derelict buildings. It's a well looked after and a well maintained area. So that's something that there's a fair bit of cash in the area to make sure that properties are snapped up, and there's aspiring people to kind of start new businesses, to take advantage of the opportunities around to them. But there's also the fact that it looks nice. There's flower beds, there's nice properties, nice stonework. People are actually choosing to do something, choosing to fill spaces and making the most of the opportunities they have to them. And that's a good thing. You can have empty units, but you've got to have people who want to start working in them. They want to have the ideas for businesses. They want to be able to kind of get things done, provide services, provide things that people want. That's individuals. That's not just town centres. That's people, wherever they are. Many towns have got declining numbers of banks and savings facilities, but Wetherby's got quite a few still. I think they're getting plenty of custom around here, which is good. Behind me is what they claim to be the home of fish and chips, the Wetherby Whaler. Now in there is some very nice fish and chips, very popular in the area. There's a few of these chain fish and chip shops around the region, around the West Yorkshire area. The Wetherby Whaler is the home of it in the area around here. So this vehicle's in the way, but we'll have a look when he moves. So the Wetherby Whaler's got a restaurant upstairs and a takeaway section that's there. Whenever you drive through Wetherby or anywhere near it, you'll always see these car parking spaces full, because everyone calls in at Wetherby Whaler for their fish and chips, especially tonight, on a Saturday night, and last night on a Friday night too. Wetherby Whaler. Am I hungry? Am I? What do you reckon? Another charity shop. That's quite a few they've got in the area. Another charity shop across the road. So there can't be many more round here, can there? There's one, and here's another one. Is Wetherby the home of charity shops? And another one. And here we've got the First World War Memorial in honour and everlasting memory of the men of Wetherby who fell in the Great War, 1914 to 1918. Rest in peace. It's a stylish looking war memorial there though, with the angel. It's good. So as the sign on the roundabout over there says, this is the bridge over the River Wharfe. Now let's have a look at the River Wharfe. This main bridge here dates back to the 13th century, 1200 and something. This used to be the main road, the main A1 Great North Road. Wow. How beautiful is that? We'll go down and have a closer look shortly, but that's beautiful. I'm always taken aback by how powerful rivers are, especially when there's a weir like this. A massive drop in the height of the river. That must be what, 6, 8, 10 feet drop? And the power of the water coming down. There used to be a water mill there, you can see down on the right hand side. I'll go around and have a look in a short while, but that's great. I do love when the sun shines on water and how just memorable and iconic it is. These beautiful shots. So Wetherby isn't just home to lots of charity shops, nice fish and chip shop, the river, the church, old pubs, and lots of other bits and pieces, and a glorious town hall. But Doctor Who lives here as well. Let's have a closer look. So we've got a public call box for the police. These were commonplace back in the day on the streets for members of the public to call through for the police. These police public call boxes. But it's only in the 1950s, was it, when Doctor Who was created, and this was the symbol, this was the craft that became the TARDIS, the Doctor Who Tardis. Now, do you know what TARDIS stands for? TARDIS? Well, you probably do, because you've probably heard it 1,000 times in pub quizzes, those kind of things, but it's for time and relative dimensions in space. And on that, I'm going to disappear somewhere else right now. Behind me is the bridge I've just walked across, but there's more that's happening around here, or has happened in the past. So let's have a look at this blue plaque now that explains a bit more about what happens upriver. So, Weir Garth. Watermills have existed on this site since before 1221, grinding flour, crushing rapeseed and fulling cloth. The mill buildings burnt down in 1945 whilst being used as a firelighter factory. Oh dear. I'd hate to fill out that form afterwards. Nearby there was a brewery and a sawmill. The original 1235 river bridge still remains between the 1773 upstream widening and the 1826 downstream widening. The fish ladder opposite was built in 1871 at a cost of £30. Let's explore now. So there's the spectacular bridge, the 6 arches across the River Wharfe, and this is the River Weir. And you can see here where there was some water mill actions. And there's this piece of artwork called Spawning Salmon. A little bit of metalwork sculpture here. Loving how the light is shining off the water. Let's have a glance from this side. Water's so clear at this end. There's the spawning salmon. And here's where the water mill was, or one of them, with the original machinery and mechanics and the water paddles there going round. Just shows there's so much that have happened in our areas that we just take for granted nowadays. In the past they needed machinery and mechanics to create things, and this is where it was. Right here in Wetherby. So we'll go from looking at the weir from here, and we'll walk round underneath the bridge to the other side, and we'll have a look there as well. This is interesting. There's a sign on the side of the bridge, one of the arches. It says, in 1233, Walter de Grey, the Archbishop of Canterbury, forgave the sins of those who contributed to the building of this bridge. The original bridge was only 3.5 metres wide and humpbacked, and it was frequently repaired. It was widened after flood damage in 1773. The bridge was further widened and raised in 1826, and this is the present bridge which you can see now. There, the bridge. So you can see through the arch of the bridge there to the right, the Weir. Now, we're only, 100, 150 yards away from that, and you can hardly hear it now, but here we've got some other little creatures who like the water being nice and calm down here. Now this area is at risk of flooding because of the torrent of the water that comes down. Quite often I've been here several times, and it's been certainly at the level of here, and sometimes the car park gets flooded, which is another 5-10 metres up, higher up from there. So here is the bridge. And here's the River Wharfe in Wetherby. And here next to the riverside is the beautiful bandstand. The octagon-shaped bandstand, created in the year 2000. This is home to brass bands and musicians that play here quite often on Sundays throughout the year. And it's delightful. People come and sit around here and listen to the musicians and all their skillful music, that people listen to the musicians along here with the water in the background there. But for me, I won't make a song and dance about it. I'm going to wrap up this video now, so thank you for watching Richard Travels Walks Round Wetherby. It's a lovely town, lovely historic market town, and there's lots to see here, so if you're in the area, come along. I didn't have any fish and chips in the end, decided not to. It's still full from lunch, but if you're in the area, why not try the fish and chips at the Wetherby Whaler? Right, thanks for watching, click subscribe, see you again soon, bye bye.